Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from the mini wargaming bunker in Welland, Ontario, Canada, where I'm about to fight a 100-point battle between my Dark Angels and Josh's Custodian Guard. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! It is Josh of mini wargaming fame that is here to join me for this 100-point battle. It's actually one of his first forays into Kill Team here. So
I think this is also one of my first bat reps.
It's also one of
ever in the new building.
In the new building, really? Oh yeah.
I'm not 100%, so I'm not going to quote myself on it. Okay. But I think this actually might be my first bat rep in the building.
Really? Excellent. Yeah. I feel super privileged then. Getting to be getting to be your first.
Play finally.
You get to play. So we're going to be playing this 100-point battle here. The story that we've got going on is that the custodians were transporting a prisoner back to Terra to put into their prison and hold them there because he was deemed a threat to the Imperium. But during the transit, they found themselves coming under assault, and the ship crashed here on this planet. During all of the chaos of that, the prisoner escaped on this planet, and the custodians dispersed to try to go find this prisoner. During their mission to find this prisoner, they ran into a force of the Dark Angels. They then told the Dark Angels that they needed to back off and that this was a job for the custodians to take this guy down. And the Dark Angels maybe not so politely declined their invitation to do so. And in that, this little kerfuffle opened up, and both sides are trying to fight for what they believe is the true benefit to the Imperium. So that's the story that we've got going on. We are going to be playing Strike at the Heart mission from the Kill Team Annual 2019 book. It looks like it's a Death Watch mission, but doesn't make a difference. You can play with whatever you want here. Essentially what happens, there's two objectives. One right over here, and there's another one underneath that guy in the middle there, his leader. That objective is in each of our own deployment zones is called our home objective. At the end of the game, if you hold your own home objective, you score 1 point. You score 1 point for every enemy model that you take out of action. And you also score 3 points if you can hold your opponent's home objective. So that's the story, and that's the mission. Also of note, if someone, during the morale phase, if your opponent holds your home objective, then you have +1 to all of your nerve tests because you're not happy about them holding your home objective there. So you add 1 to it, which is bad because you want it to be below. So yes, bad. So that's the story. That is the mission. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the two kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Dark Angels, my kill team will consist of, from left to right, my leader, who's a Terminator Sergeant with a Power Sword and Stormbolter. I've got a Terminator Gunner with an Assault Cannon and Power Fist. He will be my Heavy Specialist. And I have a Terminator with a Power Fist and Stormbolter, who will be my Combat Specialist. So for the Custodes, his kill team will consist of, from left to right, his leader, who is a Custodian Guard. We then have a Scout Custodian Guard. And we have a Combat Specialist Custodian Guard. Going over deployment, I have my Gunner over here sitting on my home objective. I've got my leader up on the edge over here. And then my Combat Specialist is going to be in the Teleportarium. So that should be a pretty good one holding him there. We then have over here for the Custodes, everybody is just lined up along the front there. His objective is right underneath the leader.
So it's leader, Combat Specialist, and then Scout.
And then Scout. So that should be good there. Getting them up the table and then running into my dude bros. Everybody's going to be trudging at each other with their 2-up armor saves, just slamming into each other. Should be a lot of fun. So that is deployment. We are now going to roll to see who will have initiative going into turn 1. I rolled a 7, my opponent rolled a 3, so we will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels. Movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. My Gunner moved over here, getting line of sight down the board towards his guys. My leader snuck up around the corner here, getting line of sight down on his guys. And out of the Teleportarium came my Combat Specialist right over there. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you after the movement phase for the Custodes. Movement phase for the Custodes here on turn 1. His leader and his Scout moved up over this way. looking on my leader over here. And his third guy over here is going to declare a charge against my combat specialist. So both of us, our combat specialists, are going to get into combat. So I am now going to fire Overwatch into him here. So Storm Bolter hitting on, he is obscured, so it's, or no, it doesn't make a difference. 6 is on Overwatch, my bad. Getting no hits there. So roll your charge distance, sir.
Okay, I'm going to be going
7 inches. That should make it in, right?
Yeah, definitely in.
That'll get him in. Sounds good.
Whatcha?
Starting off the shooting phase, my leader is going to fire into his leader over here. So I'm going to have 4 shots with the Storm Bolter. Within half range and not obscured, so hitting on 3s. That is going to be 1, 2, 3 hits. Toughness 5, correct? So looking for 5s to wound. Getting no wounds. And now my opponent's leader is going to fire back into me over here. So he's going to, is it 2 shots with your...
2 shots with rapid fire. Yeah.
And is my toe obscured from me, or can you see it from all his body? It's basically...
I can see all of your body from...
Okay, that looks good. So, okay, here we go. So it's 2 shots hitting on 2s, correct?
Well, bam!
2 hits. These are going to be strength 4, toughness 4, so 4s to wound. That's going to be no wounds. And then his scout's also going to fire into my leader over here, hitting on 2s, because that's what they do. That's 2 hits, looking for 4s. That is going to be 2 wounds. These are going to be AP...
-1, 2 damage apiece.
-1, 2 damage apiece. So I need to make both of these 3-ups, otherwise I'm in serious trouble here. So, 2 3-up saves. Oh, and I make them both! Woo! So that's it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase, his Custodian Guard here, his combat specialist, is going to attack into my combat specialist. So he's going to have 4 attacks because he gets a +1 for being a combat specialist, hitting on 2s.
See what we got?
Ooh, that's going to be 2 hits, though.
Awful.
That's not bad, though. You got the 2 hits. That's pretty good. Yep. That's not, I mean, it would have been worse if it was me.
Yeah,
I would have got nothing, so. All right, so these are going to be strength 6. Strength 6, so looking for 3s to wound. That's going to be 2 wounds. AP?
-3 D3 damage.
-3 D3 damage. So I'm looking for my 5-up invul save or armor save, whatever I want to do. 5-up. Making neither of them. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll one of those. Of course I do. All right, so now I have to do the damage. The first one that's going to go through here, doing D3 damage, doing 1 damage. So now we have what you can, but you also still have that other damage that can go through, which is going to be D3 regardless, and the other one wouldn't go through anyway. So coming from like I've only got 2 wounds, so the next one's definitely going to take me to 0, regardless of what your D3 is. So you can wait to see what happens on that one, and then decide if you want to reroll to get a better injury roll.
You know what? I'm now. Does the second one get canceled?
Yes, it does get canceled.
Never
if,
mind.
Yeah.
Never
so
mind.
yeah,
I get it now.
You get it now. Okay, he's got it. See, I told you, it's all good. He's good. Yeah, D3 again on this one. Getting 1 for that one. You're going to spend a command point to reroll that one. That's fair enough. Into a 1. Cool. So we got a cool. So I am reduced to 0 wounds by those 2 wounds. So now you have to roll 1 injury roll because it was only 1 damage on the weapon that did it to him there.
I'll take one of the lucky weighted dice.
There we go. The lucky weighted dice over here. Looking for a 4+. Oh, of course he does. He manages that one. Oof, and I am out. Alrighty, so that's going to be it for turn 1 there. No morale test to take for anybody. No breaking. Nobody has any flesh wounds. So we are going to move on to turn 2. We will now roll off to see for initiative for turn 2. I rolled a double 6s, so that's where my 6s were, not with my armor saves. And against my opponent's 6, just 6. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 2. Movement phase for the Dark Angels. My dude bro here moved up looking on this alley over this way. And my leader over here is now going to charge into his guys over here. So I am going to, so we have to do Overwatch. So we have to do it 1 guy at a time because you can do 2 separate injury rolls if necessary.
Yes.
If you get really, really lucky. So we're going to have 2 shots from the first guy on 6.
Looking for beards.
No beards.
It was close.
At least on the dice. And then we've got over here. Second guy.
Beards? No.
The opposite of beards.
You're
there.
awful.
Are you sure you have any beards on those dice? I'm not sure.
In there somewhere.
Those are like the non-bearded dice. They've shaved. Oh, God, I hate myself for my bad jokes. Anyway, so now my leader is going to charge into both of them over here. Getting a 9-inch charge, he'll be in. All right, movement phase for the Custodes. He stayed in combat over here, and he advanced around the corner, coming up here towards my heavy specialist. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, my heavy specialist is going to start us out here with his assault cannon firing into his Custodian Guard over there. His combat specialist. It's going to be 6 shots. He is obscured, so it's -1 to hit for that, but the heavy specialist does not suffer the penalty for moving with a heavy weapon, and that is within range of his assault cannon. So this is going to be looking for 4s to hit. Ooh, that's pretty good. So that's going to be 4 hits. Strength 6, so looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 3 wounds. AP -1, so you're going to be looking for 3 up saves.
See what I can get?
Ooh, taking 2 wounds. He's down to 1. So now my leader is going to start us off in the fight phase, attacking into his leader. So I'm going to have 3 attacks hitting on 3s. That is going to be 2 hits. I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll this. Of course, I missed with that one. 2 hits. These are going to be strength 4, toughness 5, so 5s to wound. That's going to be no wounds. Now we're going to start with his leader attacking into my leader over here. So there's going to be 3 attacks.
Yep, looking for 2.
Looking for 2s to hit. That is going to be 2 hits. But there's a beard, so at least we know they exist.
They are out there.
They are out there. Just like aliens. So it's going to be strength 6 because of the spear. So looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 1 wound. AP -3. So looking for a 5-up invul save. Yeah, with the filfers! Woo! And then his scout's going to attack into me as well over here. 3 attacks from him on 2s. Getting 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 3s. Getting 2 wounds from him. Come on, 5 up. Making, neither of them. And I can't re-roll it. So here we go. The first one.
Gonna be a big bad.
2. So that's going to take him down. So now I'm at 0. So the other attack is discarded. But now you get to roll 2 dice for the injury roll here. Looking for a 4+.
Show me a 4-up.
Do not do it. Oh, he got both of them supercharged. Kaplow. Whop. All right, so that's the end of turn 2. I do have to roll for a break test here because I have 1 guy left on the table over there, so more than half my guys are out of action. So looking for that. Rolling a 9, which would be a fail, but Dark Angels, their chapter tactic, which I never thought would actually become an issue, get to re-roll for the break test as their chapter tactic. That and standing still and re-rolling 1. So bully to me, I guess. So here we go. Getting to re-roll that into another 9. All right, fair enough. I'm broken. So now my guy over here has got to roll to see if he fails his nerve test. No, he's good to go. So at least I haven't failed a nerve test, but I am broken. So I'm going to be making a lot of nerve tests going forward. So that's going to be it for the turn here on turn 3. We will now roll off to see who will have initiative. Oh, no, that was turn 2. Going into turn 3, we now will roll initiative for that. And I rolled a 9. Man, I am really fast on the draw on these and nothing else apparently. All right, so we'll come back to you after the movement phase. All right, so at the beginning of the movement phase, my opponent's going to spend 1 CP for Tanglefoot grenades, which essentially means he gets to pick 1 enemy unit with any model within 12 inches of him, which is right here, and he rolls a D6, and my move characteristic, move and advanced rolls, or charge rolls are reduced by that number. So here we go. 5, so I can move 0, and I can charge at a -5, which means I don't think I can even get into combat there. So, cool. Excellent. So, my movement phase is over. He's going to ready himself. So, we'll come back to you after the Custodes movement phase. All right, so my opponent in his movement phase spent 1 CP for his scout. It's called Quick March, which gives him +2 to his movement phase. So, he moved over 8 inches, and then his leader moved over 6, moving them over to there. And then his guy over here, his combat specialist, is going to declare the charge against my heavy specialist. I am going to fire Overwatch now. 6 shots hitting on 6s. Getting 1 hit. Rerolling 1s because I didn't move in the movement phase. Nope, not reroll a 1 into a 1, of course, that's what I do. And then we've got, this is going to be strength 6, so looking for a 3 to wound. Ooh, of course he does that. And now my opponent needs an 8-inch charge to get in.
Oh, come on, get him!
Oh, he is in! Brutal. So into the fight phase, my opponent's going to spend 1 CP on Piercing Strike, which gives him +1 to wound with his spear. So now he is going to attack into me with his 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is going to be 3 hits. These are going to be strength 6, so would be wounding on 3s, but +1 because of Piercing Strike, looking for 2s to wound. Okay, so that's going to be 3 wounds there. 3, AP -3, so looking for 5 up saves. Oh, I make 1 of them, so 2 are going to go through. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll 1 of those. Oh, no, I needed that. So here we go. First one. Does 1 damage, so the second one also does 1 damage, so you're going to spend a CP. Yeah, spend a CP to reroll that one. All right. Into a 2, so that's still 2 dice on your injury roll here. Looking for 4 up.
Get him.
Boom, with that beard. That is a 6. I am out. And that is how you destroy Terminators. Man, I just got taken to school. That was awesome. Yeah, brutal match there. The Custodes, that's the first time I faced them in Kill Team. Yeah, they're brutal. They're brutal. And we had the basically same number of models, but you had like way more wounds. You have a better invul save, right?
Yeah, it's just the little
toughness
bonus
5. Little bonus is that because I think you ended up. I mean, granted, I had an assault cannon on mine. He didn't have anywhere near anything like that in his shooting, but still, that was super awesome to see how they just like rolled over me. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I mean, it was cool to see them in action. You know, my Terminators, I was hoping, I mean, obviously you always hope that they do better than they do. Unless you win, then you are glad with what they did. But at the same time, I really wanted to see, because Josh said he wanted to run the Custodes. So I knew he was running the Custodes. I could have been like, oh yeah, I'm going to run like 20 guardsmen, or I'm going to run a whole bunch of like, neophyte hybrids with heavy weapons, and they're just going to sit back and just, shoot at you until you just die. I mean, I could have done that, but I wanted to see what happened if Terminator on Custode violence happened. And the answer is Custodes turn them into a fine paste. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Josh! And until next time, have fun.